Coming up, we'll take a look at two District 6 teams competing for a state championship.
Plus, Pennsylvania's best wrestlers take on the rest of the country in an all-star classic.
And Penn State hockey advances to the Frozen Four for the first time ever. After the Whistle starts now. Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. Our crews traveled all over District 6 to bring you the latest on high school baseball, softball, lacrosse, and more. Live from University Park, I'm Mike Bolger.
And I'm Brooke Casey. Penn State Athletics continues to make history. We'll have all that and more coming up. Starting off championship weekend, it's 25-4 Bishop McCord going up against Berlin Brothers Valley, who come into the 2A state title game with a 25-game winning streak. The Crushers warming up for the 2A game, and they are ready to go. A few minutes into the first, two turnovers go McCourt's way for Cammie Bepler to knock down the three, getting this game started. Next possession, Coral Prosser strikes that ball away, takes it the other way, and in for two.
Fighting through some contact.
Look at her flexing for her teammates. She is amped. The Mountaineer faithful got rowdy with that one after the steal and score, Mike. Second quarter action, Bryn Prosser walks through the defense and leaves it off the glass for an easy layup. Kalina Bailey in transition fights through contact to get to the rim to cut the Mountaineers' lead. Berlin's Brothers Valley would charge into their student section with the 2A trophy in hand as they defeat Bishop McCord 62-50, winning their second state championship in program history. Our reporter Cora Rodriguez was at the championship, and Cora, how was it?
Family is important, or at least in my opinion, but the bond over a sport makes it even more special. Berlin's Brothers Valley just had that. Let's take a look. Berlin Brothers Valley took the stage at the sweetest place on earth, but that wasn't the only sweetest thing. Within the Mountaineers basketball community, there's a family story.
The Prosser family has impacted the basketball community at this school district. I mean, you have the mother, the father, you have the sisters, the brother, the whole family package.
The entire Prosser family are either actively involved with the Mountaineers basketball teams or were at some point in their life. Rachel Prosser is the girls' basketball head coach, as she had coached her two daughters for their entire lives. Rachel says she helped her daughters through the growing pains to help them improve.
Here at the beginning of the year, we did have some hiccups, and we talked a lot at home and worked them out, and I think that we were better after all of that.
Both of her daughters are either in their sophomore or freshman year. Bryn and Coral Prosser says their dynamic with their mom is awesome, but they have disagreements, but they push through it to get the best outcome.
We always know that we have each other's back and we all love each other, so at the end of the day, we're just going to work hard and trust each other and always be a family.
This mother-daughter relationship helped the teams to its second state title in Hershey. For After the Whistle, I'm Cora Rodriguez.
Thanks, Cora. The long journey to Hershey came to an end as the 29-2 Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders challenged the 26-3 Linville Hill Warriors for the 1A state title.
Should be exciting.
The whistle blows and we're underway with a quick pass down to BG's Morgan Ruggery for the first bucket of the day.
Making it look easy.
Later in the first, Hannah Homan swings it out to Gia Adams for the three-pointer, making the game 11-1.
Money shot!
Nearing the end of the first, Abigail Fisher gets it at the wing and bounces it in from beyond the arc. The Warriors cutting down the lead. The Marauders going the opposite way now. Amberlyn Petreka cuts through the defense with ease, extending BG's lead out to 13.
Like knife through butter, Mike.
BG back on offense now, turns it over as Fisher goes coast to coast, leaving it off the glass for two. As time winded down, the celebration began as the Marauders take the 2025 1A state championship by a final score of 53-34. Brooke, you were there to cover all the action for BG. How are they able to separate themselves from the rest?
Well, Mike, this team is no stranger to success, and I have loved covering them all season. However, their chemistry is absolutely unmatched. Let's take a look. The Lady Marauders left Hershey with something much sweeter than chocolate as they won their second consecutive state title.
I'm feeling really good. You know, to do it last year, it was really cool, but to do it again, it's really special.
Bishop Guilfoyle defeated Linville Hill Christian School Friday afternoon at the Giant Center, earning their 9th state championship and tying the PIAA record.
Oh, it's great. I mean, we did it last year. It was super great. The feeling, it just never gets old.
Early on this season, BG learned that recreating their success would not be easy as they lost two junior starters to injury. Freshman standouts Leona Williams and Mary High stepped up and stood out. However, one duo's bond would define the season both on and off the court.
We are really close. She's my best friend. So to be able to come out and do it together is really, really special.
Sophomores Morgan Ruggery and Ann Berlin-Petreka combined for a total of 27 points in the day, while BG held Linville Hill to 1 point and 10 turnovers in the first quarter. Off the hardwood, the pair's bond stands just as strong.
They just love each other off the floor, and that's such an advantage on the floor. I tell my kids all the time, I've coached teams that don't click as well as they do off the court, and you can tell.
Bishop Guilfoyle went back to the 1A level in 2006. Since then, no team has won 3 straight championships.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great, and I know I've been asked already about the future, but I really just want them to enjoy this moment and soak it in, because there are so many teams that want to be in their positions, and thankfully we've had the opportunity the last 2 years.
The 51st Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic was held at Peters Township High School this Saturday, where some of the best wrestlers from Pennsylvania took on some of the best wrestlers from the United States. Cale Sanderson and David Taylor were in attendance to watch some of their future wrestlers compete. One way to get the blood boiling. One of them being Oklahoma State commit Ladarian Lockett, who got a last-second takedown to get the 19-4 tech fall over Bodie Marlowe. Good for him, and look at them go. Gage Botero edged out Ethan Teemer by a 4-3 decision, winning an ultimate tiebreaker. Botero getting the crowd into it after his win. Let's take a look at that. Look at him go, Mike. But the match of the night was Maddox Shaw defeating Daniel Zepeda with a late takedown to upset him 8-5. Pennsylvania fans were absolutely loving that win from Shaw. The USA All-Stars defeated Pennsylvania 26-13 as all wrestlers will shift their focus to nationals and worlds. Massimo Bonagorio was at the All-Star Duel, which featured a bunch of future Big Ten wrestling stars. Let's take a look.
Wyoming Seminary's Nathan Desmond wrestled for Team Pennsylvania at the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic on Saturday, where the PA team took on a group of wrestlers from all over the United States. But the Penn State commit fell short against Ronnie Ramirez from California.
For me, that's just not up to par with my plan. So, kind of live by the sword, die by the sword type of thing. Take a mentality of now I got to work on some stuff and improve in certain positions.
Future coach Cale Sanderson was there to watch Desmond's match before he starts his athletic career as a Nittany Lion.
Yeah, obviously it's cool. It's good to see he cares. So that means a lot just from, a spectator point of view, even to come out and just, offer a few words of advice before I wrestle. That's always cool. So, yeah.
While Desmond fell short in his 127-pound bout, other Big Ten wrestling commits found success.
Right where I'm standing is where Ohio State commit Maddox Shaw defeated #1 in the weight class, Daniel Zepeda.
So fun. Everybody I love is here. I've grown up coming to this event, and to finally be a part of it. And I hope there's kids in this crowd, looking up to me saying, I want to be that. I want to be Maddox Shaw next. I just want to pass this on to future generations, and hopefully I can help them as much as I can.
All of these high school wrestlers will now focus on national qualifiers and shift from folk style, the wrestling style typically used in the United States, to freestyle and Greco-Roman, which are used in international competitions. In Peters Township, I'm Massimo Bonagorio for After the Whistle.
It wasn't just PA versus USA in Peters Township, though, as the Pennsylvania Girls All-Stars faced off against my home state of New Jersey. The Bassett family gets ready for the All-Star Showcase as we start with Bishop McCourt's Jordan Faust taking on Sanaya Queen to the mat. Later, wrapping around Queen to get another takedown on the way to a 19-3 win via tech fall. Now to 136, Charlotte Guilfoyle drops Samantha Gowork for 3 before Guilfoyle traps Gowork's arm as she's forced to do a headstand on the way to the pin. Now back to Jordan Faust for their second match of the day as she slams Adriana Haskin right to her back on the way to a pin. She was 2-0 on the day. The Pennsylvania girls, led by Faust, would dominate on the way to a 49-16 win over New Jersey. Bishop McCourt's Jordan Faust has been a trailblazer for Pennsylvania girls wrestling. Now the wrestler has her sights on bigger achievements. Massimo Manfra has the story.
The Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic on Saturday featured the Pennsylvania Girls All-Star Team versus the New Jersey All-Star Team. Bishop McCourt's Jordan Faust represented Team PA in 2 different weight classes.
I didn't really necessarily know I was wrestling 2 matches all along, but they asked me last minute, and I took the opportunity. I'm here to get matches.
Faust wrestled at 142 and 148 pounds to fill an open spot in the competition. She would go on to dominate and win both of those matches on the way to being named the Outstanding Wrestler for the Pennsylvania Girls All-Star Team.
That's always like the end goal for me. Like I was in here like to put on a show.
The Jordan Faust Show will continue as she sets her sights on Worlds.
Actually, we leave for World Team Trials on Wednesday, so this is really just practice for that.
After that, Faust heads to Grand Valley State this fall to continue her wrestling career.
I want to leave my mark in the program and win a couple NCAA titles and hopefully make World and Olympic team.
In Peters Township, I'm Massimo Manfra for After the Whistle.
Last year, Hollidaysburg defeated Bedford 13-0 in their late season push to the playoffs. Now, the two teams face off as March concludes. We start in the third with a diving catch from Vince Boland, who also throws out the runner at first as he falls to the ground. Here's another look at that. The batter tries to bunt and Boland makes him pay with a little bit of double play.
Former Little Leaguer making a highlight play here.
Absolutely. A few frames later, Ty Schinnell launches a fly ball deep into center field all the way to the back of the warning track. Schinnell slides into third base to beat the throw for a triple in the fifth with the game still scoreless.
Put on the wheels.
Josh Bank would step up to the plate right after and lines one in the same direction, driving in the first and only run of the game, 1-0 Hollidaysburg. Hollidaysburg needs one out for the win, and it's Banks again who climbs the ladder to make an unbelievable grab to end the game. The Golden Tigers secure the 1-0 shutout win as Hollidaysburg moves to 3-1 on the season as Bedford will fall to 3-3. Both teams will be back in action tomorrow afternoon.
The 2-2 Chambersburg Trojans travel to State College to face off against the 1-0 Little Lions. State College crushed Altoona 18-3 a week ago, but has not beaten Chambersburg in the past 5 games. The Trojans were on fire all night starting off as Malia Kramer hits a double to left field, bringing one home for her team. A stand-up RBI to start the day.
Absolutely killer.
Another double from Chambersburg, Addison Giselle letting her teammate Carly Scoltetti come home to a family of happy Trojans.
And happy they were, Mike.
The Trojans can't be stopped as it's Kylie Perry getting some camera time, hitting another double, the third of our highlight reel. Chambersburg goes on to win 10-2, making another easy win on the road against State College. Chambersburg is currently taking on the Mifflin County Huskies at home, while the Little Lions will play Punxsutawney on Friday.
Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at Penn State hockey's historic run to the Frozen Four.
But first, here are some scores from around District 6. The Penn State men's hockey team advanced to the Frozen Four for the first time in history after beating UConn in overtime. Brooke and Andrew Matz were both at the game. Brooke, you were a fan for the game. What was the Roar Zone experience like?
The Roar Zone experience was absolutely unbelievable. I enjoyed a couple Dippin' Dots myself, but there is nothing like watching your school go to the Frozen Four for the first time in an overtime thriller.
And Andrew, you were able to cover all the interviews, the practices, and then the game. What was that experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. Like you said, the atmosphere was great. Brooke, you experienced it in the Roar Zone. And Penn State, they got the result that they were looking for. Let's take a look.
For the first time in program history, Penn State men's hockey punched their ticket to the Frozen Four. They defeated the UConn Huskies 3-2 in overtime to advance at the Allentown Regional.
After a slow start to their season with an 0-8-1 record in conference play, the Nittany Lions are now the hottest team in college hockey, winning 15 of their last 23 games.
Part of the reason for the turnaround was the Penn State women's volleyball team's comeback win against Nebraska.
We learned a really valuable lesson about just staying true to yourself and staying positive. So as much as Carson Dick and the leadership group were talking about that, we at the same time got to see it play out in real time, and I think that was really impactful.
The emergence of Charlie Serrato, J.J. Webush, and Matt DiMarzio fueled the team's run. Serrato and Webush scored a point in each of the team's last 8 games, while DiMarzio punched in the game-winning goal against UConn.
Serrato moves in, swung it back, DiMarzio fires, score!
Well, play high hockey IQ, but we're also unselfish, and Charlie definitely could have shot that, but he made the better play, and it was a great pass to me, and I was just lucky enough to bury that one.
Dane Dowiak also stood out for the Nittany Lions this weekend, scoring 3 goals and winning Most Outstanding Player for the Allentown Regional.
The Blue and White are just 2 wins away from a national championship. They will head to St. Louis to play Boston University on April 10th.
Well, while we're all excited about Penn State hockey, they are not the only Penn State team right now revving up the action, as last night Penn State baseball looked to end their losing streak against Bucknell. Another dollar dog night, another hot dog race as mustard
Go
just
ketchup.
barely beats ketchup. Sorry, Mike, for that victory. They must have put something in those dogs, as Penn State came out swinging as Bryce Molinaro crushes one deep into left field to put Penn State up 8-2 in just the 2nd inning. This would be one of 3 home runs by the Nittany Lions in this game, and it was the kind of game they needed.
They using those new Yankee bats that they're using in New York?
I wonder. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, Mike Lucarella drops the ball right in front of the outfielder to keep adding to the score with an RBI single. Penn State ends up winning 14-3 in the 7th inning, entertaining the Dollar Dog crowd. Penn State moves to 18-10 and looks to take on Minnesota this weekend. Bucknell drops to 11-16 and will face Lehigh next.
From Penn State baseball, we head over to softball now as they opened up a long April homestand with Bucknell this past Tuesday. Players brought out their professors for faculty and staff appreciation. I'm sorry, is that Steve Reichert in After the Whistle merch?
After the Whistle hoodie!
Starting off in the top of the 1st with bases loaded, Brooke Capella grounds into a double play and the Nittany Lions escape the inning. Over to the bottom of the 1st, Haley Brunson up to bat. She hits an absolute bomb to left field. That one's gone. Home run, Penn State.
Out of here.
ATW's own Jack Krasinski in the Green Dinosaur.
Go, Jack, go!
He gets absolutely dusted. Bottom of the 5th now, Penn State up by 7. Linda Coleman hits it to right field, driving in the run to end the game via mercy rule. Penn State moves to 15-18 overall and will take Rutgers for a 3-game series this weekend, while Bucknell falls to 9-20 and will travel to Lehigh this weekend. From crazy pins to bunt double plays, there were some incredible highlights from this past week, and now our top 3 plays reporter Chase Fisher has the best 3.
Thank you, Mike. This week had it all, from champions being crowned, sports getting into full swing, and hot dogs and dinosaurs. These are our top plays. First is Hollidaysburg baseball, where a Bedford bunt is popped up and caught by Vince Boland, who spins from his knees and gets the double play at first. Next is Charlotte Guilfoyle, who turns her opponent upside down to win her match by fall. And at number 1, it's Hollidaysburg's Josh Banks, who defies gravity, who flies through the air to make the catch in the victory, the 1-0 victory over Bedford. This week had plenty of sports in action, and these were the best that we witnessed. Brooke and Mike, back to you guys.
Thanks, Chase. That catch was absolutely insane.
Went all the way up for it.
Woo! Well, Mike, with yesterday being April Fool's Day, Tyrone's student newspaper, the Eagle Eye News, decided to have some fun, and oh, did they pull one over on us. The paper wrote a fake cease and desist letter from the University of Tennessee, claiming Tyrone was illegally using the same logo as the university. The story fooled professional journalists, including Selena Zito and Jake Tapper, who both tweeted on X about the fake story. The Eagle Eye News updated their article earlier today, confirming that the story was indeed an April Fool's Day prank.
Tyrone student media pulling one over on us, but that's going to do it for this week's show. Tune in next week for more coverage on District 6 and Penn State Sports. I'm Mike Bolger.
And I'm Brooke Casey. For more updates on our show and coverage of games, follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at ATWPSU. And check out the Penn State Student Media website. We'll see you next week right here on After the Whistle.